Hey guys, hey everybody. Actually, today is much more people than I expected to have on Saturday morning after all these parties. Like really cool that everybody is here. We will try to make it like fun and like please be with us. And we have only 30 minutes, so we will go only to the most important points here. And to kickstart, I want to just do like very quick temperature check with you guys to understand how deep we can go in terms of like the wording, technology, and so on, so on. Can like you raise your hand if you know what is the NFT stands for, like non-fungible tokens. Okay, guys, this is for you as well to understand how deep we can go. Okay, can you raise a hand if anybody has or had before at least one NFT in their wallets? Yeah, let's do it. And the last thing, who knows the difference between like collectibles, tokenized assets, and utility NFT? Okay, so then our panel should be like really useful for you guys, and let's get kickstarted. And also to warm up, we already got introduced, so we're not gonna go through this like the typical introduction. Tell please, guys, to us one thing which makes you like unique human. Like for example, which we should know about you to understand your personality. I don't know. Maybe you're like salsa dancer or something like that, so we can play with that. And the second question like right after, like share the learning you get after this like past bull run related to the NFT or like Web3 space. Like what was the most like memorable or like unique and useful thing for you? Yeah, let's go by the clockwise. Kishore.
Hi, folks. Morning. I'm Kishore. I'm here from Singapore. So just to quickly jump into his question directly, we are actually a community VC, and we invest a lot in NFT projects, which is why I'm here. I love Vietnam. Been to Hanoi, and this is my first time in Ho Chi Minh. As far as my learnings in the market is basically, I would say this is the best market for all of us, whether it is fungible or non-fungible. There are a lot of good projects everywhere, both in the primary as well as secondary markets. And I guess if you are not sure of what to invest, where to invest, you can always do a DCA. That would be from my side.
Hi, my name is Adrian from Newman Capital. So something unique about myself, I'm a 25% Vietnamese. So probably you can see it from my
25% what?
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Something I learned from the market, I'm a Bored Ape fan. So for NFT, so ever since I look into Bored Ape, the Ape DAO, and how animal credits involved, helped me to kind of learn how decentralization is important for the growth of NFTs. And also, I believe that NFT is here to stay, but in whatever forms, I'm not sure yet, whether it's going to be a PFP, whether it's going to be utility-driven or tokenized asset as we are discussing today. But that's something I'm going to learn through the journey, I guess.
Hey everyone, I'm Eugene, co-founder of Mars Colony. Well, something unique about myself is like not unique, but I'm a big sci-fi fan, and that's what kind of motivated me to build Mars Colony. I'm like, I tried to combine Stanislav Lem's Solaris, Neuromancer, and a couple of other books and build out Mars Colony, which essentially is the game we built. Learning stuff from 2022 for us, I guess, as project that was on Harmony Protocol is, I guess, don't put your eggs in one basket. You never know what happens tomorrow. So for everyone who doesn't know, Harmony Protocol unfortunately got hacked in June. So yeah, we had a portion of our treasury there, but good experience for us. And yeah, just passing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brian from RCT AI, and people know us like most prominently by the name of Delisium. So there's only one word that can describe me. It's as a gamer, and that is why I work for a game company and a tech company. So like the things that I learned from this year and also the last year is that the games need to go back to its core, which is entertainment, and also And the second thing is that despite despite the bear market, like new investor, new fund, new VC comes into play, and I've seen a lot of like a new funds. I met not like a lot of people, and this is a very good time for real games, real projects to actually gain their attention, because not many of them like really FOMO anymore. So like they're really focusing on the build, and like it's easier for the investor to choose which kind of project that they want to invest, and also for the builder to actually like a benefit from that. They can show what they're really doing, and it's already like an interest the investor. So that is what I learned so far from this year.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Actually, we match with you in the learning. I wanted to say basically like if you like in the Web3 space and if you're investing, you should have a cold mind, and if you see that something goes up, it will go down for sure, and you should like manage your risk by yourself. As we saw, like many of people, they actually don't know about the differentiation. So we decided to do a kind of like debate between all of us. Like one of the member will try to defend one of the side of like type of NFTs, like somebody do tokenization, somebody do utility, and then we will try to explain in this debate why this is like unique or better. And in the end, nobody knows which type of NFT will take the market, but we will try to debate and basically guess in the end. To kick this start, let's basically define the type. What does it mean to be like utility? What does it mean to be collectible? And we already like make like share back into the group. So Kishore, you please define what does it mean NFT collectibles, like what if they have like special attributes, how they use, and so on.
Yeah, so collectibles has been around for a very long time. We've been collecting art pieces, physical art, stamps. But if you look at what blockchain has done or NFTs have done, is they have actually made it easy for us to authenticate. So how do I know that if, let's say, digital art, which is basically a JPEG file, and all of us have the same JPEG file in the past, how do I know mine is the original one? So I guess NFT collectibles has made it a little bit more easier for us to make sure the ownership is mine. I can authenticate it. Secondly, is if you look at collectibles, the physical collectible was very difficult in the past. Let's say if I'm in Vietnam, I want to sell to somebody in Singapore. It's physical. It's very difficult, right? But I can NFT it, and I can sell that NFT, and let's say the guy in Singapore now owns the NFT, which means he's actually now owning the physical. So that kind of makes it very easy. Also, in terms of currency, becomes very easy. I can choose in what mode or form I want to make the payment. So I think collectibles has been around for a very long time. It's just that NFT collectibles has made it borderless, has is become more authenticate. You can authenticate it, and the best thing is the royalty, and that's where a lot of creators and I would say artists are now able to earn for whatever they have started to create.
So basically, collectibles is kind of like art, which very easy to trade, and
Yeah,
which
art,
open
music, videos, anything. They all can be collectibles.
Okay, yeah, we're good with that. Brian, let's go the next one. You wanted to go with utility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with utility.
So like the words utility already like self-explanatory. So it's basically
But
the
it's
end-
very wide. You can drop a couple of example. What's the best like, or like you can see
flight tickets, for example, like movie tickets, a membership pass to an exclusive member club, like Bored Air, for example. They have a lot of exclusive rights. So it's already like a lot of utility out there, but like over the past few years, like GameFi and DeFi and the whole financial like aspect, it's like it takes the spotlight already. But the NFT community are very strong, and it has one of the strongest utility of all. So like people can actually use it, and they may not think of its value too much when they own them, because this is something that connected to them spiritually, and mentally. Like we collect stamp or something. It's represent the habit, right? And when they like, if you play Pokemon, you want to have a Pokemon card. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh games, then you want to have the unlimited card. Like you show this to your friends. So simple as that. So it is a good way that I learned from the collectible side also. But utility, is reflects its usage, like the real world value of it, and also it can be physical, like the tickets as I mentioned, but it also can be like a mentally as well. But utility, very simple. You can use it for any kind of physical and non-physical products or services.
Guys, if you don't mind, let's drop a couple more examples, like what, like, I don't know, brainstorm about this utility. Okay, we have tickets. We have like the entrance, let's say, like key and the tickets is basically the same. Like, do you have in mind like any other like spheres where we can like use NFT to make the life better?
Gym membership is an amazing example for NFTs. You know, I've traveled so many countries. I lose my membership because I can't use it anymore. But I can sell it. I can sell my gym membership if I choose to move to another country.
Okay. And if we come up with more, like just feel free to drop it. Eugene, yeah, can you define, please, the tokenized NFTs? And Adrian, I will have actually like, you can, while Eugene defining, you think please about the way like the border between these types of NFTs, because in the end it's the same technology, but like somehow like the collectibles can become utility. And so we will go deep with you after the Eugene. Yeah, please.
All right, cool. Yeah, so tokenized asset, let's just like wrap up what we just discussed, right? We talked about collectibles, we talked about utility NFTs, and now we're talking about tokenized, essentially, assets. So what is tokenized asset? Basically, you can imagine some sort of like, there's a physical world where you have a house or let's say a stock, and you're creating tokenized representation of that. For example, you create a token that signifies that you own specific artwork in real life. That means like that you tokenize that asset. So what you guys just mentioned, collectibles could be tokenized asset too, if you own an artwork somewhere in a museum. Or let's say stock, like, or deed of rights on some land could be also tokenized, like have a real land that you own. So that's essential tokenized asset. And I see tokenized asset myself as one of the like greatest application of NFTs, because essentially that's what connects real world with us, with the Web3 world. And that's what enables a lot of things that's cool things going to be happening in the future. For example, enabling fractional investment in stocks through NFTs, fraction investment in properties through NFTs as well, like that was, and it enables a lot of things. So in terms of examples, I can give a couple more, but maybe you guys, Adrian, you want to share a few things?
Well, I think long story short, two things here. The first one, tokenized asset. I personally am not a fan of tokenized financial asset. So in terms of real estate, in terms of art collections, but I believe in any kind of tokenized asset, whether basically is other type of NFTs, tokenized asset. Reason being, I don't believe in tokenized financial asset because, you know, in general, I don't think tokenized real estate or tokenized art collections are meant for retail. It's not because of the regulation. It's because of the investment appetite demand. I worked for 3-4 years on a company called Liquify, which we are the leader in tokenized asset, $200 million valuation. But it just can't work in the form of whether it's STO or tokenized asset. The second point, tokenized NFT. The second point is I feel like there's a convergence between utility tokens and, wait, what's the first one? Collectibles. Collectibles. So I feel like there is going to be two routes towards the convergence. The first route is whether you want to have a collectibles in terms of digital format, a BAYC, leading to utilities. So you spend the Bored Ape in the metaverse, which is other side, to enjoy utility. The second route is whether you could have a physical item, a collectible. Physical collectible, you scan a QR code and link back to the digital world. So I personally am debating which one leads to mass adoption. The first one, BAYC, is a new IP. People go FOMO for it. but then IP needs years to build. I don't believe that a utility on an offline world, whether it's a membership, whether it's a metaverse in the other side, could be created with BYC because it's too new. But if Adidas create a T-shirt with QR code scanned back in the metaverse, I believe that will happen because Adidas has built up the IP for 34 years. So that's sort of my high-level background, and feel free to discuss.
Yeah, so it looks like you highlighted more into that you go to debate for the utility use case. And let's do one more round, and let's actually try to defend I know that we kind of shared before, but feel free to defend the site you believe the most. You feel like it's going to be the most prominent use case. And I'm going to kickstart it because I'm really into the tokenization of the land. So I believe that there will be sooner or later, there will be kind of Google Map type of marketplace when you will be able to take any kind of piece of land on the earth and put it on the marketplace. If you're an owner, you will be able to sell it, and it will automatically pop up on some trending or whatever. And if this system will be created, it will be completely transparent, the planetary scale market of the land. And I'm really bullish on this. And I even pitching this kind of idea to the Ukrainian Ministry of Digital Transformation, because this idea is impossible to implement in any countries in the world except in Ukraine after the war, because they will put a lot of innovation into this. And I will be promoting this idea. So I'm definitely into tokenization and this kind of ownership. It will be basically your apartment, your land, your car, everything in your phone. So yeah, guys, are you bullish in terms of technology?
Yeah, I totally second his opinion. I'm sorry, but I disagree to some extent on the financial assets. In fact, NFT for financial assets is going to be a big thing. It's already happening on the property side. So think about it, guys, right? I own properties, but property is actually the most illiquid. If I want to sell it, I have to find a buyer. And what if I don't want the entire value of the property? So I live in Singapore, properties in Singapore are at least $1 million and above. I need that $1 million. I have to find a buyer who's willing to pay me $1 million. Now, what if I just want a small amount of portion of my equity? I want to unlock my equity. So I just want, let's say, 100,000. What if I can NFT it and sell 10 NFTs? And somebody who wants to invest in properties but don't have 1 million, but are willing to invest 100,000, or let's say even 10,000. So I make 100 NFTs of 10,000 each, and all of them can own it. And if the price doubles from 1 million to 2 million, they all double their value. And by the way, this is already happening as I speak. So I can share the website with you. And I feel NFT in property is a big thing because it's very illiquid. And the owner doesn't have the challenges of going to the bank, showing his proof of income, waiting for the bank to give the approval. With NFT, it's immediately I can unlock my equity. So this is what I feel is going to be the future.
Yeah, Brian, Adrian, let's go.
Well, to clarify, I actually agree with accessibility to illiquid assets. So whether it's real estate, whether it's other kind of private company asset, I don't believe in NFTs being the medium to enable tokenization. Because if you work on tokenization, actually my previous company worked on the first case, Mayfair Hotel, $1.7 billion tokenization. And we work with multiple, we were the type, we work with brokers. We released report BNP Paribas Investment Bank on just tokenization of real estate, and Colliers, we have a consortium with KPMG. And we understand throughout the tokenization structure is not about the tech, it's about the SPV underlying. And it is not something technologies can change. It is actually, if a narrative about whether it's cheaper or not, it's actually more expensive to do tokenization than going for a startup like Property in US, you can buy fractionalized real estate. So I don't believe that NFT is the medium or the channel to work on tokenization. It's just a buzzword for tokenization in terms of financial asset. But in terms of fractionalized real estate, I believe could be a future, but you never can get an economic ownership, legal ownership. You could have the economic interest, but not the legal ownership. And that sort of regulation being ambiguous across jurisdictions will not be solved in several years. But Hong Kong have actually pioneer some sort of STO or whatever we call it NFTs and not as securities. Well, I believe it will come, but not in the form of NFT though.
Yeah, I just add on this a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I understand the legal side could be more complicated, but the whole idea is that imagine just idealistic side. Imagine you can be a Vietnamese person, play game, and actually own stocks like fractionally for NFTs. And in this case, NFT is just a medium, right? It's just a way for you to get it. For example, you have a space game. You can have a SpaceX stocks actually fractionally owned as like your sort of incentive for the users. So that's something that I see is an amazing thing and enable essentially allow people to actually own assets, right? But on another tangent, there's other things that I really believe in the future that potentially going to come is a connection of NFT or real world assets. So like we talked a little bit about metaverse in previous sessions. So owning physical, for example, shoes, and then connecting that with a virtual, let's say, asset as like your shoes in a metaverse, that potential that something can work out. For example, I see in the future as you go into the store, buying the shoes, and then you can have a QR code NFT that you have their actual virtual shoes in the metaverse. That's something I think that can connect virtual physical world and provide this utility NFTs, and essentially we're gonna be buying all this like licenses and stuff. But maybe the Elysium guys, you have some ideas on this as well.
Yeah, so like we have a very realistic approach. Like as futuristic as what our project and our company may look like, we take a very realistic the approach onto like what we're producing and also our perspective toward NFT. So yeah, legal side it's really it's not impossible, but it's challenging. Like like owning a land even in Vietnam, you have to do a lot of paperwork, and also you have to go to the notary or you have to go to the law side in order to get the ownership transfer. So it's really challenging, not in Vietnam, but in other countries as well. So it involved with like a government, it involved with a lot of politics and kind of stuff. So owning like a high value physical asset through transferring NFT is impossible right now. Like it's hard. Like you own a car, like you buy off a car NFT from a guy, and you're actually not gonna. You realize like you're not gonna own it when like a police stop you, and what's your license? So that is gonna be take a long time to do so. But for others like lower like value, like shoes, shirt, flight tickets, like anything that can digitalize transfer, that is the most obvious use case. I really hope in the future we can do that to like a bigger value access. But like for now, let's keep it simple. Like we're trying to do mass adoption. So let's start with something like simpler and very like easy for people to adopt. So I think that's my take on it.
Yeah, I agree with you. So the legal is bottleneck for sure. Like I mean, if it's not going to be like legalized and controlled by government, there will be a lot of fraud, and you don't want to lose your car or apartment because somebody like hit you like on the street or something like that. That's for sure understandable. But on another side, it will make sense, like you mentioned in Vietnam about like buying apartment. Like I was checking the process. Basically, if you want to buy apartment now, you go to the marketplace, the owner publish, then another site looking for, then you get in touch, then you have negotiation, then you take a look, then you make agreement, then the owner should do like proof that he's owner and there is no debts on this. Then when he get this proof, like you make a signing agreement, then you make the transaction, and only then you get your apartment. So all these things, if you find the owner and you agreed, you can basically click the button and the government will prove that you both like adequate and everything is fine. We kind of like running away out of the time. To show up, this is like cool technology. I mean, I believe like we all like bullish in this, but to show how far it's like from the reality, like could you guys like highlight like very briefly what kind of NFTs like do you have in your portfolio? Like is it like utility? Is it tokenized? Like is collectibles? For me, I have NFT tickets and I have like couple of like dynamic NFTs just having for fun. Yeah, Eugene, please.
I just own our like any our NFTs, and actually the NFTs of value is my social connection. So what I started liking and using heavily is Lens protocol, and every NFT is essentially your NFTs connections of the people I follow and people that follow me, and I have a bunch of them. So that's something I started collecting. It does have value too. People were actually offering me like someone wanted to buy my profile, so that's essentially the utilities basically like into words like.
Oh, I have some Bored Ape, other side deeds, Invisible Friends, Azukis, all the degen stuff, and I have some ENS. But to point out to what you mentioned, a quick one, I think tokenization, you have two advantage: operational excellence and fractionalization is two different things. Operational excellence refers to the contract being on chains and everything transaction on chain. It doesn't lead to fractionalization and investment.
Yeah. So I believe that NFTs is going to be a big hit as far as metaverse is concerned. As far as my collections, I'm more on the collectible side, and I own a few DGods, Gary V's, and Pudgy Penguins, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's simple. It's just guns and like gaming stuff that I play. So simple as that. So that's my portfolio.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we're like out of time. And thank you everybody who listened. If you have any questions about NFT, you can catch any of us like all around. Yeah, thank you. Bye guys.